Sonic the Continuation, Issue 9. At first glance, with all of the Archie references in this fan comic, I saw Vanilla as having Bunny's robot legs and being Bunny. But no, I was just confused at seeing Vanilla with pants on instead of a dress like usual. It's quite a relief to see her like this, actually. For once I get to see how Vanilla would look as a normal mom, actually being dressed relatably. And she does her job even better as a heartwarming character. Clearly I hadn't read the Gamma matron and child stories yet, because they weren't part of a previous main issue for some reason. Even though Sonic the Comic nearly always has multiple stories per issue. She tells Gamma thank you and says that Cream loves it when he babysits her, even though he's just a robot. It's interesting to see Gamma in General's position, even if a new idea isn't any more creative just because it's passed off to a different character. It seems forced that she called her Little Cream, though. She says that she trusts him to look after Cream while she's gone. Where's she going? Is this going to be ominous foreshadowing to things going wrong? Gamma says affection returned, which is pretty sweet. And we're told that Gamma met Vanilla and Cream in the miniseries Matron and Child that I didn't know existed at the time. Sure was a brilliant idea that Matron and Child wasn't included to the immediate left of the previous issue in the gallery. How was I supposed to know about it? Why is there a whole SCC miniseries section instead? It could be in chronological order. Also, he misspelled appreciation. Vanilla mentions diapers, so Cream's a lot younger in this alternate universe, fitting her role as a cute little kid character a lot better, while having no competence at all. Oh good, it's explained why Vanilla's gonna step out. She's gonna help her sister move. I hope we'll meet that sister, because that'll be the first time I'd ever seen Cream's aunt, even if it's not canon. It'd be a missed opportunity. And she'll be gone for days. Her having a sister makes her even more relatable. And Gamma's surprised to hear the word diapers, so then what does Child Care EXE even involve if he doesn't already know how to change diapers? Which would be a recipe for disaster, although he could Google it. But I have a hard time imagining him as able to do much. Okay, he does have one hand with fingers on it. It's only his other hand that's a gun. I guess he's gentle enough. So he managed to change her diaper one-handed. And he seems exhausted. You'd think she'd be scared of him. This feels like such an imaginative interpretation of how Gamma's life would go if he didn't die. It'd be so lame if he got killed off anyways, just to imitate the game, when it's being nothing like it. His long-range sensors give him an alarm, and he deploys a diversionary tactic and thinks he's outnumbered, and decides to do an ambush. Oh, but he leaves the front door open. You'd think a coldly logical robot would have no excuse for doing this whatsoever. That's not funny, it's forced. I hope this doesn't matter, so it'll be forgivable. He figures out that the other Gamma robots are nearby. Oh, that's all? I already saw him fighting the Gamma robots in the game. And in Sonic X. And in Archie Sonic. So now I just want to skip ahead. Although some new threat wouldn't be as visually appealing as them. But it's not like they'll have new personalities. At least it's new that the first E-series he encounters is flying way above him, firing missiles. Being competent. And he says he had false sensor readings. Gamma wants to retreat, but falls down a cliff because of unsuitable terrain. And is told by the Gamma robots that he'll be returned for repair and reprogramming because he's malfunctioning. Why didn't he just shoot at them, like he did in the game, easily? But he was outnumbered this time. But come on, this is like Sonic being defeated by Motobugs. What a diabolical ex machina that would be. It's frustrating that I guess he thinks that if he shoots them even once, then all of them at once will shoot at him and he won't be able to escape. You'd think he would just dodge all of their attacks, though. Surprisingly, Gamma gets a chance to try to reason with the E-series. It'd be interesting if he succeeded instead of just failing because game. He explains that the mass registration program he deleted is just malware inserted by a hacker to compromise the system and purpose. He tells him that Robotnik's program was never intended as part of the E100 design, but they only care that he's acting weird. He says he'd rather be terminated. Cream asks where Gamma is. Is she going to be useful even as a baby? He gets at least one laser shot in before getting hit and sent over to the backyard. I guess Cream's not that young. She made it all the way here. It's really brave of her to look mad and defend Gamma, instead of crying, which really confuses the robots. And somehow this alone convinces them that Gamma was right, because the registration program denies getting more data for conclusion in this context. So the registration program is in conflict with the main direction of learning, which teaches them that the registration program is malware. This is fascinating, and actually makes sense. I'm really proud of the comic for actually getting these series robots turned against Eggman, doing something new, so that there's an actual point to using SC1 elements. It'd be shameful if it just did the same plot as in the game. Like, that would be so lazy. Then Beta goes to threaten them, and reveals that Beta was terminated and is no longer capable of destroying its master registration, because its replacement parts don't allow for independent action. So the robots try to shoot at Beta. This is nothing but lasers over and over. So I'm bored and just desperate to get to the end. Beta gets shot in the back like in the game, so the damaged blue robot tells Gamma to shoot at it a lot. They have to keep shooting Beta because it has a force field that can surprisingly be repeatedly attacked and eventually destroyed. I like the Gamma's eyes emote. Better than Orbot's eyes. So Gamma feels sorry for Beta. That's no. Cream sadly smiles at him to reassure him, and the story ends with Vanilla being greeted by the other Gamma robots, and Cream's good mood should hopefully be enough to tell her that things are okay. The narration's exact wording says that they escaped crimes they no longer want to commit, and they survive as robots of fortune. That reminded me of a certain recurring joke from Rick and Morty. The final text box made it all the more obvious, and I couldn't help but be happy at the words the E-Team. So that team in Rick and Morty really was a lot like the A-Team, even right down to the narration about them. Still, that came out of nowhere. This issue is by Akira. That was awesome. Well, it was boring that the fight scene was just laser shooting, so there wasn't much to talk about there. I loved that it had an actual twist, a happy ending, where not only did Gamma survive fighting Beta, but all of the other E-Series robots except for Beta actually got convinced that they should turn on Eggman because they wanted to know why Cream was siding with Gamma. Which takes what Amy did to defend Gamma and made it so much better. It makes sense that if Gamma could turn on Eggman so easily, why wouldn't the other robots turn on him so easily? It's also interesting that the fight took place in a different location than SC1, a grassy field where Gamma got damaged falling down a cliff, because that required creativity. When you do something creative with a story, it makes you look inspired. It makes a story look more like it required hard work to come up with. Talent. Even if it's mostly just old ideas in theory. It's also new that Cream is a baby, and that makes the fact that she was helpful all the more shocking. So it was a good thing that Gamma uncharacteristically left the front door open, because Cream saved the day because of it. I also love that Vanilla was wearing normal clothes. This is all stuff that would have never been done in the official Sonic series, because by the time Vanilla and Cream showed up, its creativity had died. Sega started encouraging it to restrict itself from creativity so hard because it cared more about its own ideas than anyone else's.